in white was standing in the corner. Mary gasped.
Do not be afraid, for God has chosen you, Mary, to carry his son.
Mary gasped again.
Do not be afraid, for your baby will be the Son of God.
Mary thought about what Gabriel was saying. She thought so deeply that many minutes passed. Finally, she looked up into Gabriel's kind face. His eyes blazed like diamonds. Good news.
Pass it on, pass it on.
When Joseph heard that Mary was pregnant, he shook with shock. She's going to have a baby, he said. In bed that night, Joseph tossed and turned. He was confused and didn't know what to do. Eventually, he fell sound asleep, and the angel spoke to him in his dream. Suddenly, he woke up. He had an answer. I'll look after Mary and her special baby. I'll treat him as my own, he said. Good news.
Pass it on, pass it on.
Hear ye, cried the town crier. The emperor has said that everyone's names must be put on a very big list. Everyone is to register in their hometowns. When Joseph heard this, he thought, bad news.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Poor me. My hometown Bethlehem is such a long way away, Joseph said. But when he discovered that Mary, who was very pregnant by this time, would have to come too, he sat down and cried. Why does it have to be like this, God? Bad news.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Joseph loved Mary so much. They had little choice but to set off on the 70-mile journey on foot. It took them many days, and their feet ached. Mary thought things couldn't get any worse, but they did. Bad news.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the town was full of people, too busy to notice them. Suddenly, Mary felt her baby jump in her womb. She knew they must find shelter quickly, but where? Joseph tried all the lodging houses, but nobody could help. Then he saw the light of an inn down a dingy back alley. Maybe there would be a small room there. But the man who answered Joseph's knock shook his head. Joseph thought all was lost and whispered to Mary, "Bad news," he said. All Mary could do was pray. Maybe that angel would return and light up a dark spot underneath a hedge. Suddenly, the man at the inn called out, "If you don't mind the animals, I suppose you could stay with them." When Mary saw the animal stalls, she was too tired to worry anymore. Joseph fetched a light and made a cradle from the feeding trough. It looked rather cozy, which was just as well because very soon Mary's baby was born. Mary placed Jesus in the cradle, and it was as if all the darkness had gone, and everywhere looked warm and cozy. Even the animal sounds were comforting. Good news. And the angel Gabriel did pass the good news on. On the hills outside Bethlehem, shepherds had been watching their sheep. Hungry wolves hid in the shadows, and sheep made them a tasty supper. It was cold and demanding work, and nobody wanted to do it. The village folk called them names and avoided the shepherds because they often smelled. Bad news.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Suddenly the sky grew light, and Gabriel appeared. The light was so bright that the shepherds had to hide their eyes. They were so scared, but then they heard a voice saying,
Fear not, for I bring you good tidings of great joy. For unto you is born a Savior, who is Christ the Lord.
The shepherds blinked and rubbed their eyes. It was such a wonderful sight. The whole sky had come alive, and the stars shone like diamonds. It was a heavenly fireworks display. And then everywhere fell silent and calm. Good news.
Pass it on, pass it on.
Away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the bright sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. The shepherds sang songs of joy as they rushed down to greet the baby Jesus.